Hello, everybody. This is Zerda with Zerda MTG, and I'm back at it again today with some more Legacy content. This time I decided to build some Sneak and Show. Went with Vision Limbs list, as they seem to be the most consistent with it, and just generally speaking, the only style of list that I actually wanted. So I'll just go over what's in here. We have the 3 Emrakul, 3 Omniscience, 3 Griselbrand split that was pretty standard for a while. 4 Force of Will, only 3 sneak attacks. Once again, don't feel qualified enough to talk on why it's not 4. Probably just don't need that many, especially with Cunning Wish for, For Through the Breach out of the board. 4 Show and Tell, because you should always play 4 Show and Tell. 2 Intuition, 3 Cunning Wish to go with the Omniscience, and also just because it's a really good way to grab a Silver Bullet. 1 Flusterstorm main, there's one more on the board. 4 Ponder, 2 Preordain, 1 Spell Pierce, 4 Brainstorm. 3 Ancient Tomb, 3 Misty Rainforest. They were playing Polluted Delta. I had Rainforest. There's no difference in this list. 2 City of Traders, 1 Mountain, 3 Volcanic Island, 4 Scalding Tarn, 4 Lotus Petal, and 3 Island. In the sideboard, we have a Boseiju who shelters all. Pretty standard, and a really, really annoying card to play against. I know this as I play against this deck a lot more than I play with it in paper. 1 Surgical Extraction, just nice good wish target for Graveyard Hate. 1 Grafdigger's Cage is some Graveyard Hate to actually bring in. 1 Red Blast, 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Defense Grid, 1 Pyroclasm, 1 Abrade, 1 Trick Bind, which is what we use if we show and tell something in, and they try and blow it up in response. I'm more used to the kill them in response kind of builds, but this takes up a lot less sideboard room. 1 Echoing Truth, just an answer to absolutely anything. 1 Intuition, just a wish target I'm assuming, although I could see bringing it in much, much slower matchups. 1 Kozilek's Return, I imagine this is our wish target sweeper, and kind of stays in the board. 2 Blood Moon, just some matches you win by turn 1 Blood Moon, as entire archetypes have cropped up around this idea. And 1 Sideboard Through the Breach, I'm assuming in case we get all of our other win conditions exiled, or just don't draw them. So that is the deck, and I'm going to do some major video editing so that you don't have to wait a very long time like I'm about to for this match to start. Alright, so it looks like that didn't quite work out. I was waiting there for a considerable amount of time. Nobody showed up for the Legacy 2-player events. My fault for trying to record on the weekend. You know how that one goes. So now I'll just record in the tournament practice room and see where we go from there. Looks like our opponent has shown up. Absolutely, I would love to play first. If this hand had a show and tell, I'd snap keep. As it stands... I'm not totally opposed to it, but I think we can do better. I'll keep on the back of the Brainstorms. Now what are we getting rid of? I suppose the Lotus Petal is kind of redundant here. I am probably going to end up brainstorming on turn 1, just because it leaves us with the possibility of winning on turn 2. I got rid of the Lotus Petal, even though it would have let us potentially win on turn 2, casting the Brainstorm on our turn, just based on the based on the possibility of us needing to Force of Will, which, given we're against a blue deck, seems fairly likely here. So let's see exactly what is going on. Emrakul. And so I didn't do that. I think I was right not to. Now that I know I'm against a blue deck, this might take a little bit more time. However, I am going to brainstorm now, I think. Yeah. There are cards I wouldn't mind shuffling away if I drew away to. Alright. So. Fine with this. Part of me wants to conceal the City of Traders. Part of me wants to just go for it. I think I'm gonna err with the side of me that says just go for it. No, there was absolutely no reason. Other than if I show and tell on the Griselbrand. Which, depending on their land drop, I very well may do, so. But something I didn't consider, so that does make it a misplay. I should have considered why I would want to versus why I didn't, so I could weigh those possibilities against each other. It also lets my opponent know what to look for with this Brainstorm, which is now 100% going to be counterspells. Whereas if I'd held on to it, they might have just, if they're a Wasteland deck, which would be a nightmare if they actually Wastelanded me here, be the worst case scenario. It also would have let me use my Brainstorm defensively on this show and tell. Should have had it on top of my deck. I think it's about to get Thoughtseized. Yep. So we threw this game right away. Pitching the Brainstorm because it is the least likely to be needed. Uh-oh. Storm? Okay. We're left with absolutely nothing because I was a little bit impatient. Otherwise, that would have been a Brainstorm in response and we'd have been completely safe. Yep, there goes show and tell. Draw an Emrakul, we cast Preordain. They did eat up quite a few resources, so there is that. I'll be smart about it this time. Put on top. Put on top. Alright, so as long as we live till next turn, we get to draw Griselbrand and draw into a lot of disruption. We hope. But that is possibly not going to be good enough. Whereas if we drop the Griselbrand this turn, it might have been. I could easily see this being ritual ad nauseum. That's a very easy way for us to lose. Actually, maybe it's Doomsday? That's not a much better situation. In fact, that might be worse because they could win a lot more easily with a lot less cards. Just Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Cantrip. It would also mean they have counterspells. So, if this is Doomsday, this is a bad play. Actually, if it's Doomsday or any of the more traditional variants. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Concede to the Griselbrand. I wish we knew if it were Doomsday, because if we knew, I'd 100% bring in Surgical. Okay, let's see. Blood Moon is, I think, a card we're going to want. Can really mess with the greedy mana bases of combo decks. This is going to be a little less about Emrakul. No. Sorry, I was thinking of show and tell variants versus sneak and show. Not entirely sure how I'm supposed to board here. I'm assuming intuition isn't going to be very good. I could see a Braid, but not being as familiar with the deck as I should be, I think I'm going to keep it like that. Cards I'm tempted on are a Braid and Surgical. Gonna leave Surgical as a Cunning Wish target. Could very much be wrong. Keeping Grafdigger's Cage out because I don't know if it's a... I'm going to submit it like this. The green is what's making me think it's Doomsday. If they didn't have the green, it wouldn't have even entered my mind. But it's either going to be a way faster deck. No, yeah, I don't think there's any chance it's a more traditional Storm deck, actually, now that I'm thinking about it a bit more. I'm going to keep this. On the back of Ponder and Blood Moon. A little bit concerned. Oh. Well then. What did you just reveal? Forcible Stormwing entity? Okay. That could be a turn 1 Stormwing, I suppose. Do I force the 3/3 and get forced back? I think so. That could be a pretty annoying clock. And I'd like to get that Brainstorm out of their hand. I'm not going to need that Cunning Wish. So let's see. Okay. Force of Will, that's going to be Brainstorm. We've already got that. There we go. Land grant was pretty interesting there. Alright. I think they'll take the Blood Moon if I... There's nothing I want to protect. So I'm just going to find an island. Because I don't want to Blood Moon when it hurts me as much as it hurts them. So I'm going to see what I can look for. Even if I don't like keeping some of this. I think I'd rather have the Lotus Petal than the City of Traders. Okay. That'll allow me to find a basic island to put the Blood Moon in with if they decide that they want to take my Brainstorm instead of Blood Moon. This deck is interesting. Nope, they did the right thing. Alright, I no longer know anything they have. I'm gonna take a significant amount of damage here. 5 is not a number we laugh at. Guess I'll Brainstorm before I do anything. It does give me the possibility of drawing into lethal here. Did not draw into lethal, obviously. So I think I'd rather put back Ancient Tomb Show and Tell. Play the fetch. Pass the turn. And that Stormwing is gonna do work. It's not Storm. That's something that's definitely confusing me. Because what is their other payoff? It can't just be Stormwing, right? They've got to be like... No, they can't be a Chalice deck, though. They've got all the Ponders. I was thinking, like, yeah, Chalice for the Lotus Petals as well, not just the one flyer. Technically, it's correct to do this at my upkeep. Not going to concern myself with that now. I'm going to grab a Volk. Dang. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put Sneak Attack into play. I could play around Daze, but... So if we draw a Emrakul here, we're in very good shape. Buried Alive. Oh, is it Phoenix? Is that what's happening to me? Let me know. It's something I need to know. Okay. Or not is it Phoenix, but just Phoenix. Everything is starting to make sense now. Okay. Grizzy B? Emrakul? Neither. Oh. Guess this is probably where I should concede, but I'm gonna cast Lotus Petal and pass the turn, make them think I might have a Gristlebrand, and debate on their attack. Give them the small heart attack. See if they just concede. Nope. And there we have another loss. Next card. Would have been a little late, but eh. And knowing what we know now, we're definitely bringing in Grafdigger's Cage. Blood Moon, not going to be as effective as I initially thought. Especially not when they've seen it. And I'm going to bring in the Red Elemental Blast. I think the way I prefer to play this kind of deck, I prefer having access to more of them, but so be it. I'm also used to Omnitel, and playing before Veil of Summer was huge, so could easily be wrong. Pretty sure that's a mulligan. I'm gonna keep this one. It's still super sketchy. I just don't want to go much lower and have faith in my cantrips. I'm gonna play under the assumption that my opponent is not a Wasteland deck. Put on bottom, put on top. F8 time. Wait for them to do their cantripping. Hope they don't drop a turn 1 Stormwing against me. That's actually a pretty formidable clock. So they have a 1-mana counter is what I'm getting out of that. Which means I'm just going to go ahead and pass. I'm going to defend myself from Thoughtseize with this Brainstorm, while also leaving open the possibility of a perfect Brainstorm. Going to go ahead and use this. See what you do about that, opponent. Red Blast. Don't mind if you use up your interaction on that. As long as you're not using it to set up a clock. Land Grant. To see their hand. They have another Thoughtseize, Preordained Ponder, Brainstorm. About to play that Bayou. I guess goodbye to my probably Ponder. Oh. Cunning Wish. Fair enough, I suppose. Nice. Ponder looking for some form of anything to do. As much as I'd like to have the Omniscience to put in. Alright, so I think I'm going to take the Omniscience. Definitely put that back in the wrong order. Or not actually, because I wouldn't be able to cast it next turn anyway. And now I leave myself the option to shuffle or wait 2 turns, draw into the means to cast and a sneak attack. There goes Ponder. I'm torn. Because on the one hand, I'd like to draw something to put in. On the other hand, I kind of want to have a level of assurance that casting my Show and Tell and getting it countered won't mean nothing. I'd have to wait too long to do that anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and fetch. Grab Basic Island. Should probably replace those with Snow Islands. Just hold up the ruse a little bit better. And I'm going to straight up go for it here. Although I will not be casting that Brainstorm unless absolutely necessary. Oh, Force of Will. It was one of the top cards they drew. Or one of the top 3 cards. Shame that. I was hoping they'd kept something a bit more clocking. Oh, I officially know none of their hand. Surgical Show and Tell, by all means, go for it. We have the Brainstorm to get rid of that Omniscience anyway. We're officially on the sneak attack plan. Stormwing Entity, eh? Well, they've got their clock, but absolutely nothing else. Prowess threats are a lot less impressive when you don't have a hand. Alright. Well, the Gristlebrand's useful. Suppose there are sequences that let me win next turn by brainstorming here, but there's also a lot of very, very bad things that can happen. So I'm going to wait. Opponent's deck doesn't have too much interaction in it. From the looks of things, it's just Thoughtseizes and Force of Wills. Alright, am I about to be proved wrong? What on earth is this? Oh, Delve. Okay. Okay. That needs an answer. I'm gonna take a turn to draw, I think. So I don't imagine very many lines where I get to win very easily off of just a Brainstorm. Alright, that needs to go. And that needs to go. Play that. And, let's see how this goes. Opponent's just testing out the new cards, I suppose. When that thing attacks, that's gonna be... It's basically just a Dreadhorde that doesn't come down on 2 and takes a lot longer to do anything. Right, they added the Thoughtseize to their hand. I was really hoping they'd cast something else first. Gonna have to allow this Thoughtseize to go through. Flusterstorming doesn't do anything. So it doesn't really matter except for making future fetches worse. So maybe I shouldn't. I think any line that can win now relies on a Brainstorm next turn. So I think my sole remaining line is draw Brainstorm, cast Brainstorm. Okay. And I have no lines left if they see it, because this will kill me. Oh, that too. I was just talking about the attack into surgical. Well, they got it. Good game, opponent. And that's all we have time for today, so I hope you enjoyed. Please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And I'll see you all in the next video.